Welcome to Real Talk Live with wArnette D Love. Now, I know this ended up being a late show, but it had to be that way. Y'all know what time it is. I am now an empty nester. My children are gone, and my baby started college, and we've been doing the college thing for the last couple of days. Still not finished. Got a few more things to get up to him so that he can start his year off comfortably. So today or tonight, this evening, I wanted to talk about the Alabama Brawl. Let me make sure that my phone is up loud. Okay. I want to talk about the Alabama Brawl. Okay. A lot of people have been talking about it and whatnot. Let's get something straight. He was not, the man that was attacked initially was not a security guard. He was the crew of the ship. He was like I want to say the first mate or something like that. He was he was the senior guy to the captain. That's who he was. He wasn't the security guard. And of course, we know this happened in Alabama. So, which happens to be, the history of Alabama has to be heavily related to racism, slave trade, right there at the river, where the fight took place. I mean, it has that history of racial happenings and racial tension. So let me start, and I may break this down in 3 parts, but I'm going to start with the first part of it being the initial attack of the first mate who was trying to do his job. It is normal that if the boats needs to be moved, people will move the boat. You have people that are trained to move someone else's boat in the water, and normally that's not a problem to do. It's like a courtesy thing, and people know that. They don't take heart to it, and by him being a part of the ferry team, he was asked to do that by the captain because they're communicating. And I just want you to know that the team consists of different races. You had whites, you had blacks, you had all that on the ship. The captain happens to be a white man. And he did give an interview and expressed, exactly what had taken place. So that's how I learned that it wasn't a security guard who got jumped. It was actually his second man in charge that got jumped. So he had him move the boats, but this was after asking the owners of the boat to move their boat and getting, conflict, getting that, the arguments and all that stuff back and forth, and I'm watching as I talk to you because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. And so the captain also said that those same people come every year, and every year is an issue with at that time with those people, that group. Now, someone asked me, do I think, now this was a question to me, do I think that they would have jumped a white man the way they did the black man? Would those white people had jumped a white man the way they jumped that black man? I would say not likely. I mean, not likely. If you look at the brawl, and I made it clear earlier that the white people were on the team as well as the black people were on the team. But if you look at the outcome, the fight, all you see is the black people fighting. Okay? And I say that because most of the time white people are not going to fight each other. They're not going to fight each other over, a conflict with a black person. They're going to move out of the way. And you don't have to like what I'm saying, but just ask yourself if she's saying the truth. A lot of times they're not going to jump into something that's originated from a black person being at the base of it. So you had some white people that jumped on this black man, and all you saw fighting were black people, even though there were you know, a mixed team. Okay. You even saw the young well, it was the white guy came before the fight started. He walked off and he didn't. When he came back, they hit him one time and he jetted. He was gone. You know, he did try, but he thought about that thing, and then he got gone, and they just pushed him away. You know, do I think it was racially motivated in the beginning? That's the way it appears, but I'm not in anybody's head to say yes, they jumped on him because he was black. I can't be sure that they wouldn't have done it to a white man, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But the way it appears is that it was racially motivated. It seemed like they jumped this man, even though they were upset. I felt like they felt it was okay to do because he was a black man. And I'm not going to say African American, all that stuff. I'm using black and white. So I felt like they felt it was okay. And like the captain said when he saw the two guys fighting him, he saw two more come up. He thought that they were going to break the fight up. He said, no, they ended up jumping in the fight. Then he said two more. He said it ended up 8 people on his guy. Now he said that the crew, the ones y'all saw in the blue, that's who jumped them. So the captain is saying, who's a white man, is saying that it wasn't a racial thing for his crew. It was a unified effort from his crew to protect one of their team members. Okay? And I can understand that. So why all of the celebration? Why all of the memes? Why all of the jokes? Why all of the black pride that was happening and all that stuff? That's what we want to know. Because the people, I think, are mistaking this for a racial thing on that end. And I don't see it that way. I know it looks, if you're on the outside looking in, like we all are, it clearly looks like it's, you know, one race against the other race, and we're happy because we were out there doing things. But the way I see it, you have this race, and I'm talking about black people now, and I've been saying this previously. If you look at my other videos, you'll see that I always say that we are crabs. A lot of us are crabs in the bucket. We don't like to see each other get ahead. We don't stand up for each other unless it's the police doing it. We walk away like we don't see things, and we've been doing that for a long time. We've been ignoring things that have happened to us, and we just walk away. And it was that moment at that Alabama Brawl that there was no walking away. You took a race of people that normally come against each other, known for fighting and killing each other. And this particular moment, they came together and fought for one of their own. Now, do I think that they would have done this whether it had been a green, yellow, blue, purple individual? I do. I don't think at that point it mattered, because I do believe that it was the team. I do believe that crew was determined that they are going to help their team member. They are going to help that man. I kept asking, how did they get to the boat? How did they get to the boat? What led, because what we saw was starting at the dock when a young man, and by the way, he was 16 years old, when he swam over to the other side from the boat, from the ferry. And then you look down and you see the fight going on. Well, of course, you come to realize that the crew was on the boat. The ones that came to help him were on the boat, and that's what was going on. So I can only imagine, because we don't know all the details, that there were some people that were on that boat that were going to help both sides. And I think it probably got stopped on the boat. That's why you got the brawl on the boat, because they were probably saying, no, y'all not going down there and this, that, and other, and blah, blah, blah. And I think it got stopped on the boat, or they, got into the fight on the boat. I don't know exactly how it went down, but I do know that they were throwing those blows and chairs and everything on that boat. Now, the boat action, the stuff that was going on that boat, okay. I believe in protecting. Excuse me. I believe in protecting. I do. I believe in that. I believe in the necessary amount of force to stop the threat. I am former law enforcement, so I'm pretty much trained to that, okay? And so I do believe in protecting the person that was getting jumped. I believe in that. However, my issue comes in the amount of force with that chair. I think the chair was a little bit over the top. A little bit over the top. I really do believe that the chair was a little bit over the top, okay? Because you're looking at, I mean, that somebody really could have been terribly damaged with the chair. Do I understand the chair? Yeah. I mean, when you're not a fighter, or when you're not getting ready to be a fighter, when you're not getting ready to go there with anybody, you like, I'm about to take the best way out, you pick up something. When you're not getting ready to go to blows toe to toe with somebody, you pick up something. And that's what he did. And it looked like he was pounding everything that he felt was a danger. And then again, let me go with the third part. Honestly, it looked like he was pounding everything that wasn't black. I'm going to be honest with you. So that part right there, to me, should be a totally different issue in this. When they go to his charge, I would like to see his charges. I really would like to see his charges. I know what prompted this thing, but that chair, I mean, I cannot agree with that chair, at all. I can't even get with that. I can't get with that. I mean, if you're gonna fight fair and square, but that chair, I can't get with it. And I know a lot of people gonna say, "Oh, shut up! She would have picked up a chair too." I may have picked up a chair had my life been in danger. I may have picked up a chair, but only for those who are coming at me. Only those who are coming at someone that cannot defend themselves. So I can't say, but I just thought that was let's just look at it. There were no guns. The only weapon out there was the chair, other than them hands, them bones. And that chair was used in a very, very, very harsh way. So like I say, I'm looking at the video, and I mean, right now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see. Let me just go ahead and play this footage. I don't want all this talking in it. I don't want all the talking, So I got it on. I have it on mute, but it's why did it have to be there? And I'm pretty sure, going back to the beginning, because I'm trying not to be jumping around, I am pretty sure that there was a lot of alcohol involved. I'm pretty sure about that. But even with alcohol, because see, I don't drink now, but I used to drink, so I know how alcohol affects people. And plus, I work with a lot of people that, you know, be drunk and all that stuff. So I know it affects people. But if you're standing off and somebody else is having a conversation, then you just come attack somebody. You thought about that thing. You sat there and meditated. You didn't get upset. It wasn't a spur of the moment type thing because you weren't even in his face. I'm looking at it. You weren't in his face. He was talking to someone else. You were standing off and you came and attacked that man. And then your friend runs back up and then takes him to the ground. Y'all wanted to do this thing. You wanted to do it. It was meditated. I mean, whether you were drunk or not, it was premeditated. You wanted to fight. You wanted to fight. That's why they was pushing you initially away, because you wanted to fight. It was premeditated. And then, like I was saying before, now listen to this. Like I was saying before, you talk about a group of people, black people, that normally don't get up in the business. Because I'm sitting here looking at a group of black people just watching, just recording. They're not trying to help. They're not trying to help. You had one man come down there to try to break it up, but he wasn't trying to fight. He was really trying to break it up and then get them off of that man. Let me go back a little bit, because I'm looking at it. You know, I'm trying to commentate this thing properly. So you had one man to come down and try to get them up off of the first mate, okay, who was not trying to fight. You had the first mate just trying to talk them into moving the boat, trying to explain. There you go. As he was trying to explain to them why they need to move the boat so that the crew can come in. And the little young dude come and bone rush him. Then the other one comes. Then two more comes and start beating on. Look at that. And the woman gets hers in too. Gets her licks in too. Come on, what was y'all thinking? You got one guy down here. And so then the black guy that did come on first on the scene, he just moved them out of the way. He ain't come to fight, but he's trying to get them up off the guy. Okay? He really wasn't fighting. He may have thrown a couple licks, but he really wasn't trying to fight. And then that's when little Aquaman came on in. Now, Aquaman was 16 years old, y'all. 16 years old. Scared of nothing. Scared of nothing. Kicked them shoes off and was ready. And at that time, I cannot think that he was thinking about anything other than helping his fellow man. Helping this elderly man that was, 65 years old? Somebody that's probably been an encourager or a mentor to him. You know, that's what he was thinking about. You ain't gonna tell me he wasn't. He wasn't thinking about skin color. He was thinking about helping that man, and he knew he could swim that far. And that's what he did. And he came down there and he stayed on his back. And he moved. The man moved. Aquaman moved. The 16-year-old, I like calling him Aquaman. He moved. And so that's what was going on. And he wasn't scared either. He was not scared. And yes, he fought them adults. He sure did. He put his hands on them. He sure did. He was only 16, but he wasn't scared. And he should not have had to feel that he needed to protect anybody. He shouldn't have. Now, he did all this before the crew came. He was out there fighting before the crew came. He was fighting. Oh, he was tearing them up, y'all. He was fighting them before the crew came. I mean, that little boy was doing it. 16 years old. Slammed one of them. Attacked the other one. Attacked the main one. And the lady tried to help her. He slammed her too. Putting her hands on him. I mean, if you're fighting, you're going to have to fight. You put your hands on somebody in a fight, you better expect to get involved in the fight. I've been breaking up fights for years. To the point where my doctor said no more. No more. So now, y'all attack me, you're going to get what you get, because my doctor said no more fighting. Okay? So I'm just putting that out there. Let me just put that out there. If you attack me, you're going to get what you get, because I got it on paper. No more of that. Okay? So What I'm saying is, but if you break up a fight, you got a chance of being a part of the fight. You put your hands on somebody in a fight, you don't know what they're thinking. They're thinking that you probably jumping them too, especially if you're on the other team. If you're on the other side. Now, she was down there with the people helping fight the first time, and now you're going to come and try to grab somebody. No, ma'am, you get put on the floor. You get put on the ground, baby. You get put on the ground. You see, and so for me, it would not have been a black and white thing. It would have been zoned. I would have been zoned in on the fact that you guys have jumped on this black man down here. And he could have been a blue man, as far as I'm concerned. But you done jumped on this man. You have made the fight totally unfair. And you think that this is going to be it. And anybody who think that they should have just walked away, you out your mind. That ain't how life is. You don't get to do stuff to people and think nothing's gonna happen to you. You thought you were gonna beat this man and then get back on the boat. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. I can't go with that. I'm not a violent person. I had a job that required me to fight a lot. I had a job that required me to restrain a lot. That's what I had. But I do not condone violence. But this right here, I mean, I can't condone what happened in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't condone. What happened in the beginning. 8 people on this one man, punching him. He down, and he's an elderly man. It just brought tears to my eyes. It brought tears to my eyes to see this. It brought tears to my eyes. To see that happen to him. Felt so bad for him. And when I saw the people come together to protect him, to help him, I was relieved. And the thing was, you know, in my mind, I don't want to see the fighting, but sometimes you got to learn your lesson. Sometimes you got to learn your lesson that that's not okay. Whether he be a black man or a black woman, white man, white woman, Indian, or Native American, Native American woman, Native American man, whatever, Asian man, whatever they be, it's not okay to do that to anybody. It's not okay to jump anybody. So I felt like you reap what you sow in this instance. To me, it was never the black against the white. I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it, honestly, I looked at that brawl as finally these black people that normally coming against themselves, as normally doing something to each other, have unified to protect someone who can't protect themselves. That's the way I looked at it. It didn't matter whether those group of people were purple. That didn't matter. And I believe that's what went on throughout the country, throughout these states, that we finally saw a little unity amongst black people. I really doubt that it was a matter for everybody. Let me say that, because don't get me wrong. Some people was black and white. But for some people, I think it was more of the unity that was shown amongst a race that normally is divided. And then for me, I don't like bullies. I have never, ever approved of anybody bullying. So for me, it was like, you get what you asked for. You jumped that man, and you about to get jumped. So you got whipped. You just got to spank it. That's all you got to spank it. That's the way I look at it. I don't care about no race. I don't care. If I was there, I would have helped. I would have helped until no need to help. I mean, I'm not one that, I'm not going to abuse anything. Like I said, I'm all about least amount of force necessary. But I wouldn't let you hurt nobody. I'll stop you, you know, before I let you hurt somebody. Now, that chair, I probably would have got hit with the chair, because I would have been trying to get the man to stop. Please stop hitting him with the chair, please. Please, he probably hit me, you know, because for me, I think that was That was a bit much. I mean, the chair. Come on, man. You can hear a boom. Did we hear him or did somebody make noise? You know, with so many memes and so many videos put out, I think somebody was just placking when as the chair was going down. But I mean, I did he hit the man about 6 times. Then he hit the lady in the head. Oh my God, I felt for her. I know that thing hurt her, and she was already sitting down too. So you know that right there, I could not condone at all. I could not. You know, that wasn't me. Like I said, I probably would try to help. I got hit myself. You know, and so I don't know. I really don't know. Yes, he should have been. Look, even the lady I'm looking at. I told you I'm looking at it. Even the lady tried to hit him, and then they want to come up on him like he's doing something. She came up on him. See, I really believe the alcohol had a lot to do with it. That's what I want to look at, the alcohol as well on the bad decisions. I mean, and the boy gonna come and football punch him, tackle him, and he really want no fighter. He really want no fighter. He ain't had no fight in him like talking about. Yeah, I can talk because I'm a brawler myself. I'm a brawler. Yes, I'm a Christian, but I'm a brawler too. I always call myself P-Dat because I will fight, and then I will repent later. But I already know that that's something I'm gonna have to see God about because I will fight. I mean, and I'm older now, so of course I'm not trying to fight anybody. I'm not trying to fight anybody, but I'm a brawler too, so I watch people. That took martial arts for years, all that good stuff. Used to coach, referee, all that stuff. I did all that, so I watch people, and I can tell a lot of times that dude want no fighter. Why would you jump on that man? Because you knew you had backup. You jumped him because you knew somebody was coming to help you. And wasn't nobody on that dock but him. And y'all took advantage of that. You knew you took advantage of it. You knew your brother wanted to get him anyway. When the brother, the one that came and ran back, he wanted him anyways. They walked him over down to the dock. So when the one with the little fro jumped on her, the one that wanted him anyway came right back. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say it was premeditated. This was something that they wanted to do. All of them wanted them. Y'all, and so that's my whole thing, Y'all ain't had no fighting. You knew you had backup, and he didn't. Brought nobody down there, and the people that were up there did not come down to help him. And that's what I was saying about us as being black people. A lot of times we mind our own business. A lot of times we do not get into anything. And I think what excited the country was the fact that on that day, some of us was like, forget that, we in it. And for the most part, it was his crew who was predominantly black. It was his crew, so that's how that ended. I don't really think that it mattered what the race was. That crew would have came to his rescue regardless. I really don't think that part mattered. I'm telling you. Yeah, you had some people out there with straight, race and this for the ancestors. It can't cost me. Like I say, it's not everybody, and I can't speak for nobody but me. I'm just giving you my observation of the situation. I ain't investigated nothing. I just listened to the interview and stuff like that. I just felt like, regardless of what his race was, if it had been a white man getting jumped, I believe that crew would have came and did the same thing. I do. I really do. Even though it just happened to be black and white, but I think they would have done the same thing. And it's unfortunate that we had to go through this. I just pray that everybody can get back to normal. I pray for everybody's safety. And I definitely pray for the safety of that young man, the 16-year-old, who felt that, like he said, he was doing what he was raised to do. He was protecting those who were weak and unable to protect themselves. And if you don't know, that's in the Bible, that we must take care of those who cannot take care of themselves. We must protect the weak. And I can almost guarantee you that's a Christian young man raised in the church. I just feel it. I don't know. Ain't gonna bet my last dollar on it, but I just feel it. He said he was doing what he was raised to do. He was raised to be a protector at 16, and then it wasn't something uncommon for him, because if we look at it, his pictures, his social media, he worked out, he kept his body right, he was strong already. You know what I'm saying? He took care of himself. And at 16, I think, honestly, he shouldn't have been put in that position. He shouldn't have felt like he had to protect somebody. And I think that's why everybody's making a big deal out of it, because he felt that way and he acted upon it. And they said that he had got so much money that it crashed his cash out, because the people wanted to purchase him some more boots or whatever shoes he was wearing. To the fact he came on and said, please, I have enough money, I have enough to buy my shoes and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at this man that they jump. I mean, he just all over the place. He is just distraught, you know what I'm saying? And it's just ridiculous that somebody that age can't come to work, and he gotta go through this here. He has to go through this. And that little old man he's tussling now. And see, that'll be me. And I don't want to be old fight. Y'all, please don't hit me. Please don't put y'all hands on me for no reason at all. Please. I don't want to be out here old, having to struggle, having to tussle and all that stuff. Please don't do it to me. I don't want to fight, okay? I don't want to fight. I just want to talk. Let me talk. But I just feel like some of it was racist. And I feel like some of it wasn't. I honestly feel like, even though it looked like a big race brawl or big race battle, I feel like all of it wasn't about race. I do feel like some of it was about protecting one of your own. I really do feel that way. And the captain of the ship, said it better than anybody, that his team went to protect one of their team members, and he didn't feel it was about race either. I just don't see that part of it was about race. I can't be sure that the first part was about race. I can't be sure that the initial part was about race. You never can be sure. It looked like it was, but you never can be sure, because I know that there was alcohol involved, and so I don't want to just solely say it was, but it did appear to be a racist attack. It really did. And so I'm hoping that they get it together and get everybody charged that need to be charged. Well, yes, because there are some people that needs to be charged, no doubt about it. I ain't got no problem saying it. Somebody needs to be charged for what went on. And so I hope that the right charges are taken out and held to, the highest standard of the law. I ain't gonna lie. I disagree with him hitting that one with that chair. I'm sorry. I disagree with him hitting anybody with a chair. Why not fight like everybody else fighting? Use your hands like everybody else using their hands. So I can't say that I'm gonna feel sorry for him, because for me it wasn't a black and white thing. For me, it was a unity thing. It was a unity thing. They unified. They came together. They protected one of their own. Yeah, they were mad, and they probably was mad because they felt it was a race thing, that one of their crew members laying down there, he don't black person, all these white people on him. That part I can't answer for, but I just feel like the second part of it, where everybody came, was basically them taking care of one of their own. I really do, and I don't care whether it was black, white, red, yellow, purple, green. I believe that they would have done it for any one of those crew members. You don't have to believe me. You can get mad at me. You can say, oh, she this, that. I don't care what you call me. I know what I am. And let me tell y'all, for some of my little Facebook friends and stuff, I be watching your pages and stuff like that. and I see a little racist posts and stuff, but I don't say anything because you can put on your page whatever you want to put on your page. But I want you to know that those underlining racist posts that you be putting on your page, we see them. But we respect you enough to let you put whatever you want on your page without coming at you hard. But please know we see them. And your posts don't have to say black or white or red, yellow, Native American or nothing, Asian. It does not have to say none of that. It doesn't have to specify to have a racist undertone. I saw some today. I saw some yesterday from some of my so-called friends on Facebook. And I want you to know I'm watching you. I'm watching you. And the first time you come at me with some crap, I'm going to call you out. Because y'all, you got people, they feel they can do and say whatever they want to say or do whatever they want to do. And it can be out of pocket. Okay? It can be out of pocket. It can be racist. It can be demeaning. It can be homophobic. It can be whatever it want to be. But as soon as somebody else says something that offends them, they're the worst people in the world. You know what I'm saying? They're the worst individual in the world. But you done forgot about all that stuff you done did that discriminates against other people. See, I see your little doggone comments. I'm going to tell you, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to call you out. But I see y'all comments, and I think it's very highly racist. Highly racist. You don't have to say the black community or the African American community for it to be the African American community. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's not funny. And then everything don't need to be expressed just because you're thinking it. But because it's your page, I'm going to let you have that little bit. But if you ever give me the opportunity, I'm going to call you out face to face. Because you ain't going to do nothing to me. Put your hands on me. Put your hands on me. I got doctor's notes. I done told you. My doctor said no more fighting. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it and keep moving. But stop being a hypocrite. Stop wanting people to do right by you and you won't do right by them. And I'm not talking about no Alabama Brawl no more. I'm talking about straight up racism right here on social media. Okay? Because I already told you how I felt about the Alabama Brawl. But watch your posts. Watch your posts. Because you never know who you might need. You never know who you may need. And it may just be one of them people you offended with one of your posts. I try to watch my posts. I try not to post anything, that's racist or anything that I might find funny. If you notice, I didn't post anything about that brawl on my page. And the reason why is something I may find funny may offend somebody else. Which I ain't found nothing funny about it, but I'm just saying there's a whole bunch of memes out there. I didn't find that chair funny, so I ain't post nothing about the chair. You see what I'm saying? And yes, people were sending me chair earrings, chair t-shirts, chair, all that stuff like that. I didn't find it funny. I thought it was an overkill. So I didn't post it. And I didn't want to offend nobody else, but I know a lot of my friends don't care who they offend. You say a lot of stuff that you shouldn't say. You post a lot of stuff that you shouldn't post. But it's going to be me at the right time to call you out on your crap. Because what I realized is, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as moving on politically. The way it looks like for me right now, that might not be the road I'm going to take again. I don't know, but that's the way it looks for me right now. And even if I take the road, y'all already know I don't kiss no hand pots. You're going to either vote for me or you're not. I'm going to either win or I'm going to lose like I've been losing. But I'm not going to kiss your hand pots. And I'm not going to just sit around and continue to watch you insult me. Because some of it is insulting to me. And one of the posts I saw yesterday was really, really, really insulting. Really insulting. Highly insulting. And I started to say something, but wait a minute. Wendy's isn't paying me. They're not paying me. Let me turn this around. They're not paying me. But I started to say something, but you have a right to post what you want to post. But I'm watching you. I'm watching you. And with that being said, enough of that racist stuff. I want to talk about, just let me mention, because I might do a show on it. I said it once before, and I'm going to continue to say it. We have to be very careful when we're trying to do stuff in our own hometown. Okay? And when you're trying to branch out, you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you're trying to do things to better yourself, and you're thinking that the people that claim they care about you, your friends and even family, you're thinking that they're supposed to be there for you, right? But let me tell you this. It's going to be very difficult at times to get the support you need in your backyard. Sometimes you got to go to another state. Pay attention to what's going here in Portsmouth. Most of the time, we let me think. We're supporting people that's not from our own state. We support people that's not from where we're from. We let people come in and take these positions in our city and stuff like that. And they don't have the love that a lot of us have for our city because we was raised here and grew up here and kind of know what was going on in our city, you know what I'm saying? But we would support an outsider before we support somebody that's from this city. So sometimes I want you to understand, even with your businesses, the same thing happens. They'll support an outsider before they support you. I don't know what it is. Go and branch out. Branch out. You might have to branch out to another area. You might have to use social media and branch out. Some of these pastors, these famous pastors, they weren't big in their city. They weren't big in their state. They branched out. I know one in particular. They used to travel all in Miami, all in Virginia, all over here and over there, in Atlanta. But when he get back to his home state, they ain't really respect him like talking about. But now he big time. Big time. Scandal and all. Sometimes that's what it's going to take for you to be successful. Now, I ain't talking about famous and all that. But to be successful, sometimes you got to branch out beyond your backyard. Because haters are real. And if people feel that they can stop you from progressing, even though we know it's not them, we know it's just not our time. We know that what God has for us, nobody can stop, nobody can block. You know, but they would do whatever they feel they can do. But just remember, God will prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. And don't be afraid to let them see it. Listen, let me see what Mr. Dodson said. Hi, Mr. Dodson. Let's see, we have local politicians running here because it's red in their area. They feel they can win here in a blue. And you're right, some of them just want the office and don't care about posts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some of them just want the office. That's why when we go to them, we can't get anything because they don't care. They don't care. You have a better influence being in the background. Definitely don't have the patience you had. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was being told. That I probably should work the background and stuff like that. Because I do know the ins and outs and and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure I can help some people. Can you show me what people are posting as racist things? The big thing we need you to Darkness, no. Oh, listen, I tell you what, Mrs. Dawson, next time I come across one, I will share it with you. I definitely will. You know, it's just terrible. And I think just people being insensitive, they think it's funny or they think they're proving a point, but it's insulting, you know. So, yeah, I definitely will. And thank you so much for joining. And for those of you who joined in and those of you who would watch later, because I know it's kind of late, I thank you so much for supporting Real Talk Live with wArnette D Love. We are going to be doing better things. I am going to be putting together the some videos that I've been going out taking footage of and everything. Just taking me some time. I had to do that mother thing, you know. It was time for college, so I had to make sure my baby boy's okay. We got one more day of me taking him some stuff, like I said in the beginning, and I should be ready to do more things, more activities and stuff like that. And by the way, if you need some t-shirts, not a whole bunch, I'm not taking no big orders, but I can do what I can do. If I can't do it, I'll tell you I'm not able to do it. But I am doing t-shirts. I got a fair, reasonable price for them, so hit me up. All right, you take care now. Remember, God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself, then you can properly go and love someone else. Until we shall meet again, may God bless you tremendously.